I'm Jenny Carlson here with Gina Mizell. It's just hours before the Fiesta Bowl. We are here in the Phoenix area. And Gina, it's been nearly a month since the Cowboys played a game. December 3rd was Bedlam. January 2nd, this game. How does that layoff impact things positively or negatively for the Cowboys?
Well, that's the thing you run into whenever, you're playing in these bowl games, and especially these later bowl games, the BCS games that are a month after the regular season's over. And so, they had the long layoff for finals, and they came back and had basically, just about 2 weeks of practices in Oklahoma, and now they've been here for a week. And talking to offensive coordinator Todd Monken yesterday, Mike Gundy mentioned it today, that, it was their best practice was on Saturday, which was the last one, before going to the stadium, seeing it for the first time. And so you can kind of, tell that the focus has shifted. Not saying they weren't focused early in the week, but it's gone from, oh, cool, we're in Phoenix and we're here and we're practicing, to, all right, now we got a game to play. So, both teams have to deal with it. Stanford actually hasn't played a week longer, so that kind of, is a little bit interesting. But I think now we're kind of in game mode, and I think everyone kind of feels that way.
Okay, keys to the game for the Cowboys. What do they need to do to win this first ever BCS Bowl in their program history?
Well, I think both, it sounds cliche, but I think both battles up front are going to be really key when you look at OSU's offensive line versus Stanford's defensive line. Stanford's really good against the run, and so being able to establish that matchup. And then on the other side, OSU's defensive line is going to go up against arguably the best offensive line in the country when you talk about Jonathan Martin and David DeCastro, and just that unit that the Stanford Cardinal has. That's that power pro style type of offense, and that really all starts with them. And if you can't win that battle up front, you can't stop Andrew Luck, you can't stop that running game, none of that. So I think that's going to be a big key. And I think for the defense, also forcing turnovers, which has been, that's been their MO all season. So when you look at all of that, I think the offense will be able to do some things against Stanford's defense. And I think it is going to be a shootout, and it's going to come down to, which defense can make the big play, whether it's a stop, a turnover. And for this, OSU defense, it's usually been forcing a turnover. So it'll have to be kind of one of those big plays, I think.
All right, prediction time. What do you got for this game?
I think it's going to be close. Like I said, I think it's going to be, a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. I think both these quarterbacks are going to play well, and both these offenses are going to play well. I picked OSU to win 38-35. So obviously I think it could go either direction. But I think, they have probably a little bit of an advantage in special teams with Quinn Sharp there with his kickoffs and his punting and his field goals. And so I think, that might play a role. And I think the OSU defense will be able to kind of make that one big play to have enough to, just outlast Stanford, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I've got the Cowboys winning as well, as does everybody else on our staff that does picks. I've got them winning by a touchdown. I think it is going to be a great game, but it's finally game time. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.